Good afternoon, parents, boys and girls. Welcome to Newtown Primary's orientation. We are so excited to see everyone online. This is the program for today. We'll begin shortly with our principal's address, followed by a short sharing by our vice principal, Madam Tay, on some administrative matters. Then we will have a Q&A session with our school leaders. To kick off our orientation today, we will now invite our principal, Mrs. Tan, to share her opening address. Mrs. Tan, please.
Thank you, Regent. Good afternoon, all parents, and good afternoon, all P1 incoming children. Very happy to be meeting all of you virtually, and of course, looking forward to meeting all of you face-to-face in January next year. This is the outline of my sharing this afternoon. I'll be introducing to you our school team, a short introduction on our school philosophy, mission and values, our strategic direction, as well as some admin information. I'm Mrs. Tan. Wei Pin is my name. I've joined Newtown for about 3 years. This is my 3rd year with the school. I formerly served in Anderson Primary School as principal, and prior to that, MOE headquarters, and prior to that, 2 secondary schools, Greenview Secondary as well as Temasek Secondary. I'm supported by 3 vice principal, Mr. Brian Ong, Vice Principal Education Officer, EO, Mrs. Lin Chan, also Vice Principal EO, Madam Jody Tay, Vice Principal Admin, and a full suite of HOD team. We are supported strongly by a full KP team, namely HOD English, Mrs. Serene Lee, HOD Mathematics, Madam Chua Xiaowen, HOD Science, Mr. Chiu Zichun, HOD Mother Tongue Languages, Madam Tay Sok Fan, HOD Aesthetics, Mrs. Hu Yufang, our MC today, HOD CCE, Ms. Koo Richen, a very unique head of department and the position, Mr. Johnson Lee, heading HOD, heading the special educational needs. Madam Lee Po Gyok, HOD Student Management. Madam T Ying Ying is our school staff developer. A very important person that all our incoming Primary 1 parents and students would get to know, Madam Sai Ha, our year head for lower primary. Middle primary is Ms. Teo Wee Ling. She looked after the primary 3 and primary 4 level. She's supported by Madam Sohana, assistant year head, and Madam Woon Wei Lee, who is supporting our upper primary, primary 5, 6. Our admin manager is Mr. David Wong. We have 2 operations managers in the school, Mr. Nyam, as well as Mr. Naga. As you come to the school in January, these will be the 2 officers that you will be seeing very often, our 2 operations manager. A short history of Newtown Primary School. We were opened about 56 years ago by Dr. Goh Keng Swee, and we share the same birthday as Singapore. In fact, Newtown started a couple of months before the independence of Singapore. The school was opened officially in July 1965. I move on. So this is our school crest. I'm giving you a quick snapshot. So the lion here represents our country, Singapore, that we citizens will continually serve. The flame in the school represents the school philosophy that inculcates the moral values in preparation for service. The open book represents knowledge and the spirit of learning. Especially pertinent today, we talk about lifelong learning for all. Philosophy, this guides what our belief and of education. So as a school, we believe that all our children, all our students are able to, they can learn and they want to learn. So it is our job to ensure that that is realized. Our vision, passionate learners, speak about students who are passionate about learning and who can take responsibility for their own learning. We want our children to be critical thinkers, They are able to discern information. They are able to think critically, problem solve, and are discerning. They are anchored in values. So we aspire our students to be anchored in values and who can inspire others to do good. Our mission, how do we get there? So it's through the way we nurture our children, them to be passionate learners, strong in characters. RISE is something that your children will be very familiar in their 6-year journey with us. In fact, I want to invite all of you, if you are free later this afternoon, to visit our school website to look at the prize giving day proceedings this morning. So you will be able to hear more about how we relate our school values in everything that we do in Newtown. So our school values is RISE, resilience, integrity, service, and excellence. I move on. This is also an important slide to share with you the learning dispositions that we aspire to nurture in all our children. It's read READ. The acronym READ. Here it shares with you how we aspire all our students in the quest for learning to be able to become responsible learner with an inquiring mind. And in the midst of doing so, they are able to contribute actively. So they are active contributor with a very determined spirit. So even if there are setbacks and obstacles in the midst of their learning, they are undaunted. Move on. Our school strategic trust, it states our key school direction. So everything that we do in Newtown is aligned to the 3 strategic trusts. First, we aspire to ensure that the Newtown experience that we provide for all your children is one that is holistic, engaging, and empowering. And this can only be done because our teachers are passionate about their job. So our Newtown educator, which is all our teachers and staff at the school, we aspire for them to be able to lead, care, and inspire their children. And last but not least, the Newtown community. We cannot do this on our own. So we need your strong support. So we aspire for the Newtown community to be one that is a supporter, partner, as well as collaborator to us. A quick snapshot of how we have planned our Strategic Trust 1 and the Newtown experience in the school. So under Care at Newtown, we look into how we can provide for students' well-being to be taken care of. So under Care at Newtown, we emphasize a lot on positive teacher-student as well as student-student relationship. TSR and SSR for short. We teach school values explicitly and implicitly, as well as social-emotional competencies development through the different programs designed. Our discipline, we regard discipline as a very important factor in the school. Our discipline measures are fair, educative, and restorative. We also have a robust system to support the different learning, behavioral, and emotional and social needs of our students. So some examples on how we plan our work here, you can see your children will be undergoing will be the weekly form teacher guidance period, morning connect conversations with their form teachers. We have the semestral Start It Right program to start every semester, and in 2022 to start every term. For the mother tongue lessons, for the Chinese students, we have the 弟子规 being incorporated as part of the CCE curriculum. Our P4 students support our little ones when they enter the school. Something very special for our primary 1 and primary 2 students will be the program for active learning. Under Learn at Newtown, we are very deliberate in our design to ensure that we have rigor and depth in how we plan our curriculum, how we teach it through our pedagogy and our assessment. So we create authentic platforms for students to apply their learning, because we aspire for our students to be able to be collaborative and self-directed. We also differentiate our curriculum to ensure that we are able to meet the diverse needs of your children. So some examples are the Applied Learning Program. Do hear a little bit more about this in my speech in the Facebook. Conversational Chinese and Malay program. We have whole school reading programs, as well as some national competition that the school had been organizing for years on My Dream Shop. Under Learn at Newtown, we also have other programs to support our students' learning, as well as to stretch those who may have the aptitude to do even longer and to do more. So we have the Learning Support Program for English and Mathematics, as well as the E2K program that we plan around in collaboration with the Gifted Education Program for Mathematics and Science. We also have a whole host of competitions, as well as programs that we send our students to stretch their learning. Or Math Olympia, Science Olympia will be some examples. I will move on. Under SD1 still, Learning at Newtown, we also will be introducing in 2022 the Readers Theatre program for English language to stretch those with the passion for languages. We take a lot of attention to our students' drive in the aesthetics and physical domain. So we have a very exciting sports education program. We also, hopefully in 2022, when the situation allows, go back to our face-to-face learning journey. As part of our aesthetics program, we also have AMIS modules being introduced to our students, for instance, GarageBand, Photoshop, batik painting, etc. Learning for Life program is our school signature program. So applied learning, earlier on I introduced the citizen science at Newtown, is one whereby we incorporate science and national education or social studies. The Learning for Life program is in the area of student leadership. We aspire through what that we do, we are able to develop a leader in every of our students, regardless whether they hold position or not. And of course, as part of the school planning, our character development program that is weaved into the various aspects of our curriculum. CCA is another big area in which we pay a lot of attention to. So with COVID kicking in, we have been running e-CCAs under the virtual form to ensure that learning of CCAs are still going to be happening at a safe and optimal manner. Move on. We have been moving out of Singapore to learn over the last couple of years. So we had global connections and cultural connections with various countries in Southeast Asia as well as Asia. In fact, before COVID kicked in 2019, we were in Shanghai, and we also had schools from Hong Kong visiting us. This year, in fact, it just happened yesterday. We had a very lively virtual exchange with our partner school from South Korea, the Seoul Mindong Elementary School. We'll be putting up some of these features on our Facebook, so you can have a glimpse as to how our students are learning even during the pandemic. I move on. So other programs that are unique to the little ones, the P1 and P2 students, will be the Primary 2 Applied Learning Program in the area of citizen science, speech and drama for our P1 and P2, Swim Safer, will be some of these exciting programs that your children, when they enter Newtown, will be undergoing. This cannot be done if not for the efforts of my school staff. So we aspire for the Newtown educator to be one that leads, cares, and inspires the students under their care. So our teachers go through a professional learning development to deepen their craft and their pedagogy. Sometime in March 2021 this year, as announced by our former Minister for Education, Mr. Lawrence Wong, Newtown has also been recognized to be a Center for Teaching and Learning Excellence, CTLE for short, at Newtown Primary School. We are the host school for on-site teacher learning through master classes, demonstration classes, with master teachers from Academy of Singapore Teachers, as well as the National Institute of Education. So our teachers are at the forefront of experimenting pedagogies and the craft of teaching. Newtown is very, very privileged to be recognized as a Center for T&L Excellence, the first center for primary school. We also have a team of very dedicated cross-level deployed teachers. They are teachers from secondary and JCs. They are here wanting to join Newtown to augment the rigor of the primary school curriculum with relevant experience at higher educational level. Interestingly, I was sharing with my colleague that I'm also a cross-level teacher. because I used to be teaching English and music at the secondary school. I move on, ST3. For this to happen, we need parents and your support. We need the community to come in to support us. So we aspire for all of you, parents and stakeholders, to be our keen as well as good supporter, partner and collaborator. We have a very, very dedicated parent support group working very closely with us on many school events, making it possible for many of the school events to happen virtually or face-to-face. In fact, the last face-to-face big event that we run in collaboration with our partners as well as PSG was the Newtown Outreach 2019 that happened at Star Vista. We also had an open house at Newtown. Some of you may or may not have joined us. If you are interested to know more about our school, you can also go to the link later on when you are free, or the next couple of days when you are free to join us at our e-open house experiences. So transition to primary 1. So the primary school years are very important phase in your child's education as they lay the foundation for your child's learning. It is also the time whereby they are the most curious and inquisitive. So in these formative years, we at Newtown want to build your child's confidence and desire to learn. Because learning is not learning just for exams. Learning is learning for life. And it's important that we have the right attitude and disposition to want to continue to learn and explore new knowledge. So we want to give all our students a broad exposure to a range of activities so that they can discover their talents and interests and have a well-rounded primary education. And move on. So transiting to primary 1 will be key. So from preschool, they'll be transiting to primary 1, and this is the process whereby they will be moving into a new environment. And it will require your child to adapt to an unfamiliar and we are very sure exciting setting. Now, a smooth transition is made when your child is able to feel safe and comfortable in the new environment, and your child is able to manage the daily challenges of school life. So when your child enters primary school, some of the new things they will experience will be such: making new friends, seeing teachers, different classes are led by different teachers, a new school environment. I think parents are also aware Newtown is also currently undergoing upgrading. So in the next couple of months, you will see a completed new 6-story block in our premises. So together with our primary 1, we are also adapting to the new learning environment, very conducive one, as well as a new routines are being set in the new year. So in primary 1, your child will be equipped with skills to adjust to a larger learning environment. They will be able to interact with more peers and teachers. In the last couple of years, their interaction is more with their classmates. Hopefully in the coming 2022, with the ease of the measures, we are able to have more interaction across levels and across different classes. So they'll be able to interact with their seniors in the school, with their teachers. They have to adapt to longer school hours because in Newtown, we start at 7:30. We end at about 1:40 every day. They will learn in the midst to become more independent and responsible. We'll move on. So what are some of the tasks that your child should be able to do independently? Together with you, we hope to be able to help your child to have good personal hygiene so that they are able to visit the washroom, they are able to do things like hand washing, tying their shoelace, and tidying up their attire independently. They are able to look out for traffic, whether inside or outside school. They are able to organize their school bag for the different timetable the week. They are able to count money and receive change, let's say during canteen or when they buy certain things from the bookshop. They are able to confidently ask the teachers for permission, perhaps to visit the washroom or to go down to the office to do certain collections, so on and so forth. So we hope that these will be some things that your children, together with our partnership with you, be able to do so independently. Now, how can I support my child during this transition? A very simple acronym, SAFE, SAFE. We hope to be able to partner you to support S your child and encourage them to overcome the challenges together with you. Help us by affirming them by recognizing small successes, praising their efforts. And if there are setbacks and obstacles that they face, we are together with them to overcome it. We don't fear mistakes. We learn from our mistakes. We want to familiarize our students, so do help us by familiarizing them, by easing them into the new routines, sharing with them your experiences in primary school, and then empathizing and acknowledging their feelings. So SAFE. Okay. So for you and your child, we will be providing this parent-child activity book. This book contains a lot of tips and activities on how you are able to help your child have a great start to primary school. We will be providing the hard copy of this book to you through your children on the 4th of January when school reopens. So how can you prepare your child? We hope that through our ongoing partnership, we are able to help them relate to others, okay, help them develop good habits. Sleeping is one, sleeping sufficiently so that they are fresh in the morning, able to be cognitively alert, so that they are also able to be socially as well as emotionally, taken care of. So developing good habits, so nurture positive learning attitudes, as well as creating a conducive learning environment at home. And move on. And relating to others, we are also very keen to partner you to build your child's interpersonal relationship by helping to role model, so modeling the use of friendly and polite phrases. So we, the adults, role model this by using friendly, respectful phrases so that they can see us in action, they are able to do so too. So providing opportunities for children or your child to share and take turns while playing with other children, and teaching them coping mechanism. So besides having a good sleep, take deep breath, pause a little while, think first before they move on, so that they are able to better regulate their emotions. So in developing good habits, we also want to work with you to build strong routines. Children learn best when they are in a disciplined environment, a very nurturing and disciplined one, with very strong routine set. So we hope to be able to guide your child and together with you to do the following independently. This is during the pandemic period. So besides being able to dress themselves, pack their school bags, we hope to be able to guide them to use a mask responsibly at all times, as well as to be able to take their temperature using a thermometer, because as part of the start of every day in the morning, the students will take their temperature. So these are some things that we will be helping in terms of setting for routines. So there are a lot of all other resources which later on, when you have the slides, you'll be able to scan the QR code as well as to look at some of the links to find out more about what we are sharing today. Okay, so nurturing positive learning attitudes in our students. This is important because it will be a lifelong habit which we want to develop. So by developing the right learning attitude in your child, we will be able to help them transit smoothly and confidently into the learning routines in school. So we can do so by encouraging our students to ask questions about their experiences and the world around them. Get them interested in not just what is happening in the school, but what is around them. Okay, and expressing their thoughts and feelings and discuss what they have done, if they have worries. Share with you what excites them, share with you what worries them. Okay, and at home, do help to set up a conducive home environment so that they can both learn at home and in school most effectively. So some tips will be having a dedicated area for learning, such as doing schoolwork or reading, to put your child in the right frame of mind to learn. And then establishing a daily routine with your child and time set aside for play, as well as doing their schoolwork. In the coming year, lots of opportunities as part of our orientation plan to share with you some other good tips and to share with you some other good insights that we have on how we can support our child in their learning. Okay, with that, I end my segment. Looking forward to seeing all of you face to face, just about 1.5 months away, and looking forward to seeing all our children in action in January 2022. Thank you, parents.
Thank you, Mrs. Tan. We will now invite our Vice Principal, Madam Jody Tay, to share some administrative information on the first 3 days program. If you have any questions during the sharing, please do type them in the chat and we'll try to address them during the Q&A session after this sharing. Madam Tay, please.
Thank you. It's cool. So I will share with you on our administration information. I think what Mrs. Tan have shared with us earlier, especially on the tips for preparing our students to come to primary 1 is very important. I remember 9 years ago, I was also a new parent for P1's parent. I think sleep hygiene is very important. We must prepare our children at least 1 week before school starts so that they can be ready for the new term. So here I will share with you some of the administration information that parents will be interested to know. Okay, if you know now that all your children are actually allocated by groups, we'll be assigning the classes to your child sometime in December, and we'll be sending a PG notification to you to inform you of the class allocation. There'll be about 30 students per class. The classes are allocated actually randomly. We hope to have an even mix of gender and races so that the students can learn and interact with one another. Our P1-1 to P1-2 classes are on the level 1, while P1-3 to P1-6 classes are on level 2. The school hours will be from 7:30 a.m. to 1:40 p.m. from Monday to Friday. However, we do encourage our students to report to school at 7:15 for silent reading program. It will be good that the students come slightly earlier report at 7:15 because they need to prepare themselves mentally and physically before school starts at 7:30. We'll have snack time between 9:10 a.m. to 9:25 a.m. Students can bring healthy snacks. We do encourage them, probably they can bring fruits, whole fruit, maybe an apple or banana or grapes to eat. Try not to give them probably crackers. It's not so healthy. Yeah, that's something that parents might be mindful of. P1 will have recess between 10:10 to 10:40 a.m. They can bring pocket money or packed food. Usually about $2 should be enough for the children to buy fruit from the canteen. Do encourage your child to bring a water bottle instead of buying drinks from the canteen. In terms of channels of communication, we will have students handbook, which we'll give out on the first week of school, and we communicate through the termly letters, and parent gateway, which is a very important apps that parents can download, and we can get timely notification from us, and also via the school email. Our class teacher would also have class dojo, which they will form and communicate to parents on by classes. There's some information on the fees payment mode. You can actually pay by cash check, cashier order, gyro, or SAM machine. We do encourage cashless payment so that you will not be bothered about coming to school every time carrying lots of cash to make payment. Okay. This for information. For Singaporeans, the school miscellaneous fees is actually $13. Okay. We also have an after-school student care center, which we call Care Hut at New Town. The operating hours are after school dismissal to 7 p.m. They operate during school holidays, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. They're closed during weekends and public holidays. To register, you can actually inquire at the link provided, or you can call the center at the 2 numbers provided in the slides. Now, the first day of school will be on the 4th of January. If you have read the newspapers, the P1s will be the first group of students coming back. So for the first 3 days of school, from 4th to 6th January, your child can wear their PE attire and report to class by 7:30 a.m. Of course, we encourage them to come earlier, as I said earlier, at 7:15 a.m. for silent reading and to prepare their hearts and mind. Due to the COVID situation, there's only one parent will be allowed to enter the school premises on 4th January. So we'll be providing a sticker for identification. The stickers will be given to you. On the 4th of January, we will be providing an extended snack break from 8:40 a.m. Okay, we're going to take this time to teach the students how to purchase food from the canteen, because usually in the kindergarten, they are provided food, they don't have to buy. So this is the first time that they're going to learn how to buy and use cash to buy food. So the students in P11, P13, and P15 will have their extended snack break between 8:40 and 9:20 a.m. While P12, P14, and P16 will have theirs between 9:30 and 10:10 a.m. Okay, the snack break will actually replace the recess time. On the 2nd and the 3rd day, which is the 5th and 6th of January, the students will have extended snack break between from 9 a.m. to 9:40 a.m. and then they will have no recess. Okay, due to COVID SMM, which is the safe management measures, the students will be dismissed at staggered timing. P11, P13, P15, which is the odd number classes, will be dismissed at 11 a.m. And the even classes, P12, P14, P16 will be dismissed at 1:20 a.m. And students who take school bus or go to care hut, student care, will be dismissed at 11:40 a.m. Okay, what to bring on the first few days of school? These are the items. There's no lesson on the first few days, so they just need to bring their color pencil, their pencil case, storybook, thermometer, packet of tissue and wipes, pocket money, water bottle, healthy snacks, and trace together token. And if they want to bring, they can bring along their sanitizer. On the first day of school, which is 4th January, we do welcome parents to join us face to face. We have actually sharing sessions by the school leaders and key personnel. And on the 2nd day, which is 5th January, there'll be Zoom topics, which is on class routines, expectation, and communication between schools and parents. So we will see the parents on Zoom platform on the 2nd day, which is 5th January. Okay, I think the first letter that we give to the parents, we have this student information requesting for parents to update. This is very important. It will help us to have a better understanding of your child so that we can support your child. Do log into the QR code and update the student information so that the teachers and the class form teacher can actually support your child better. This, again, I reiterate, I think this is what Mrs. Tan have shared earlier from the parents' kit and the school bag. You can take time to go into all these links to learn and to find out more on what actions to take and tips regarding supporting your child in their education journey. Okay, this is the Parent Gateway resource. Do download the apps. It's very simple and it's very useful that you can get notification from school timely. Okay, so do you think your child is ready? Are you ready for your child to come to P1? We hope to see you soon. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair, for getting us ready to start the year. We'll now invite our school leaders, Mrs. Tan, Madam Chair, Mr. Ong, and Mrs. Chan for the Q&A session. Please do type your questions in the chat and we'll try to answer them. All right, let's take a look at our first question. I heard that the P1 students do not have exams anymore. How do you assess the students then? Will there be a lot of mini tests? All right, we'll invite our Vice Principal, Mr. Ong, to share with us.
Hi, good afternoon, parents. Yes, that's right. P1 and in fact P2 students do not have exams anymore. In fact, there are no what we call weighted assessments now. Let me explain what that means. By weighted assessments, we mean that we don't use marks to grade the child. And perhaps let me share with you the intent of doing that, because we feel that children at a very young age, when they start looking at marks and comparing their marks with their friends, it will quench their desire and confidence to learn. So we want to build that confidence and desire to learn. We want them to learn for the sake of the joy of learning and not for the sake of getting more marks. So for P1 and P2, we have done away with exams quite some time ago. But it doesn't mean that we don't assess the child, but we assess the child for the child's learning and feedback for the parents to improve the children's learning. How do we do that? We give quite a bit of feedback when grading the assignments. We use rubrics, we use checklists to show the child, to show to the parents what are the success criteria when it comes to the assignments. And at the end of every semester, we also look at each topics and take out the learning outcomes, and we report to you how your child is doing for each of the topics and the learning outcomes. We give it a rating, for example, whether your child is at beginning, developing, or competent. And we do that based on the teacher's observation of the assignments, the class discussion, and the group work. So all in all, yes, you're right. P1 and P2, we do not have weighted assessment. We do not use marks to grade the child, but we do that because we want the children to build the confidence and desire to learn during this very young age. I hope that answered the question. Thank you. Over to you.
All right, thank you, Mr. Ong. All right, let's take a look at the second question on school values. One of the school values is excellence. Can you elaborate more on this? All right, we'll get our Vice Principal, Mrs. Chan, to share more with us. Mrs. Chan, please.
I think we want our students to strive in everything that they do and to persist and not to give up and overcome their challenges. And in the aspect of excellence, we want our children to keep trying, persist, persevere, right? And to be at their very best in whatever they do. So that's the reason why we believe in this school value excellence, and that small little achievement that they do each time they reach their small milestone is when the school celebrate that they have tried and they have achieved. Yeah.
Thank you, Mrs. Chan. All right, now a question on school administration. What if the uniforms, PE attires do not come on time? Madam Tay?
Okay, we have actually spoken to our uniform supplier. He has assured us that there's no shortage of uniform and PE attire. However, should there be a shortage of uniform and PE attire, we do allow students to come in plain colored PE t-shirts and actually blue color pants, shorts. Yeah. Thank you.
Just to add on to what Madam Jody Tay has mentioned, not to worry if you are unable to purchase the uniform, come in a maybe plain TPE t-shirt with dark colored shorts, so that we can start the school year while the purchases are made by the parents in the school year.
Thank you, parents, for all your questions. Our next segment of today's orientation program will be for the little ones to meet and interact with their new friends and our teachers. In a short while, we will assign you to your breakout rooms. A reminder that our orientation program ends after the activities in our last segment of the classroom engagement session with your children. The slides that we've shared with you will be uploaded for your reference on our school's website. Once again, thank you everyone for joining our orientation today. We hope that you and your children will enjoy the activities that our P1 teachers have planned for you. Have fun!